Bam! Me and you can relate a lot on that. I would say the other thing I'd like to know is I know you had in 2006, you had 100 million in revenue. You hit that number, and you had a heavyweight COO from Starbucks, and 14 months later, you almost filed bankruptcy. You hit a blockade, you hit a road where you really had to make some decisions. And a lot of people think as entrepreneurs, either A, somebody gave you something, which we've heard your story. That's not the case. You had to grind, and we'll dig a little deeper into that. But two, they think it's just easy. Like it's like riding a bike, and it's not. Throughout your entire entrepreneurial career, you're going to hit spots where it's like you've got to make tough decisions that can change everything in your industry forever. And you've got to carry all those employees and their families on your shoulders. And that's on your mind every decision you make. When you hit that spot with that COO and 14 months in, you almost filed bankruptcy. What was that like?
Yeah, it was hell. I mean, I said to you, I love what I do. It was really hard to find passion towards what I was doing during those days. It was dark. I mean, I was depressed. I was stressed out to the max. I ended a relationship at the same time because this person didn't want to be around me with the stress I had going on in my life. And it was tough. So I think if I look back, you nailed it. I had the weight of the world on my shoulders. I had to go, I'm making a decision here to get this person out of my business. Nobody else around me, hundreds of people in my company, thought I was making the right decision. That's lonely. When they say it's lonely at the top, man, it could not have been lonelier. So there I am going, I made this decision. Is it right? There's no turning back. I get hit with a constructive dismissal lawsuit, all sorts of stuff. What I saw as the visionary entrepreneur before anyone else was actually the right thing. People in my company will tell you, yeah, one of the best decisions Brian ever made. But did they think so at the time? No, they thought I should be committed to, mental health institute. Like it was really a challenging time, but I knew it was the right thing. It was not the right leader for me. When I found the right leader, which this had me reflect on, I wrote a book called WTF, Willing to Fail. I talk all about how failure is a gift. The Starbucks ex-COO was a big failure. However, it got me to the massive gift that I've got, which Eric Church, who's been in my company as my president and COO for 9 years yesterday, he's unbelievable, great friend, caring, charismatic leader. We've quadrupled the size of the business since he's been here. I found the right leader by understanding who the wrong leader was for me. The Starbucks leader went on to do fantastic things in other businesses, just wasn't the right leader for me.
Two things. One, WTF. I love the name of the book. I'm actually going to write a book here soon. I'm sitting here thinking of a title. Nice. I saw yours. I go, dang, that's a great title. I love that. And it's awesome. WTF, how failure can be the key to your success, willing to fail, right? So right. I love that. I love the story of the COO that you brought on that didn't work. As an entrepreneur, right? When we have to find people smarter than us. We have to find people with skill sets that we might be lacking, right? True story. 2 years ago, and this is my third company I built, I didn't even know what the hell EBITDA was. That's a true story. But I brought somebody on who showed me that. We had a private investor. We're continuing to boom. We'll break, 400 million in revenue this year. But I didn't know 2 years ago what EBITDA was, and this is my third business. I didn't go to college. I had to find somebody smarter than me to show that. I had to find somebody smarter than me to help build a corporate company, to have HR aligned the correct way and have accounting aligned the correct way and make us more of a professional organization. You as an entrepreneur, it seems like the gentleman you brought on, and congrats to him for his 9-year anniversary, he not only made you better, made your organization better, because it's running a business is like a puzzle that never ends, right? We got to find the right pieces. And sometimes those pieces don't fit and you go, all right, I made a bad mistake, but I got to keep moving. I can't look backwards. Let's put another piece there. Oh, that works. And then the puzzle gets bigger and you're always filling the pieces up, because once it's complete, if you stop, then you're going to fall. It's going to break anyways. So you got to keep it going, but you got to keep putting those pieces in. With you doing that, and with your book sharing some of that story, what is another time where you feel like you made a bad decision? You put the wrong piece. It doesn't even have to be an employee situation. Yeah. Maybe you opened the wrong city, or you did something wrong and you had to go, I'm learning from that. Here's what I'm going to do now.
Yeah. So what's interesting, let me tell you a quick story that'll help to answer or create the stage. The book, WTF, I co-wrote it with a good friend of mine and the fellow that does all our radio creative named Roy Williams, the Wizard of Ads. Total genius. He convinced me to write the book. He helped me write the book. And as we're going through the process of writing, he said, Brian, stop asking me or saying that we need to come up with a title. He goes, in the book world, you write the book, then the title pops out. I said, as a branding guy who's created 1-800-GOT-JUNK, Wow One Day Painting, and Shack Shine, I start with brands. I start with the names. He said, yeah, it doesn't work in the book world. So I trusted him. We close off the manuscript. And I'm like, man, this is growth, failure, growth, failure, growth, failure. It's a story of nothing but mistakes. When you say, tell me about some of the big ones I've made, I mean, the book is filled with them because that's all I did was make mistakes. But rolling back the film, I would not have changed a thing in my life. I needed to make every failure that I made to learn that mistake to get me to a better place. Yeah. So one of the failures that I really think I screwed up, and I screwed it up really, really good, was 1994, 5 years into the business. I had 11 employees, $500,000 in revenue, 5 trucks. I have these 11 employees and I say to myself, I'm not having fun anymore. I don't necessarily enjoy working with these people. One bad apple spoils the whole bunch. And I think I had about 9 bad apples. I ripped off the Band-Aid and fired all 11 people. And as a small business owner, going from a staff of 11 down to 0, I mean, I can't even believe my business survived. But I pulled them into a room and I started with 2 words. I said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I failed you, that I let you down and didn't bring in the right people, didn't give you the training, the love and support you might have needed to be successful. I let you down and I'm going to start again. And so I got rid of my entire company and started again. But the gift was, it's all about people, finding the right people for me and my business, finding the right people and treating them right. And the culture we have in the company right now and have had for decades is unbelievable. It's not perfect, but man, is it awesome. There's some magic here. When our franchise partners go, I want to get into O2E brands, I want to get one of their brands, they're often most drawn in by the inspiring culture of let's build something bigger and better together. We wouldn't have been able to create that culture if I didn't completely fall flat on my face with the wrong team. So
that's it. You're not scared to fail and you utilize that. And you're exactly right. You know, Brian, anytime you fail, you can either quit or you can learn from it. I know many times, I know in 2005 on the solar business, my first year in business, we did 3 million in sales. We lost $1 million. I took everything I made from home security, dumped it in there, sold my house on the lake, dumped it in there, fired 80% of my staff, and then said, I'm going to start doing everything and rebuild this because you're right. Sometimes you need a reset. It's all about culture. It's about everybody rowing for the same thing. And I think that that's really exciting how you've done that. So writing a book, what was that like? Was that process a lot different, obviously, than running a business? Was it tedious? You have ADD. I got to be curious on a personal level. How am I going to finish writing this book, right? I hired Scribe Media to help me do it. And I don't even want to write. I'm just going to talk and let them write. But I'm like, I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah. So I worked with Scribe as well to do the actual production and printing of the book. So you're in good hands. Let me say this, that because I'm so ADD, I can write and I enjoy writing sometimes, but it takes me a long time. I hate reading. So for someone to go out and who hates reading, write a book seems nuts. And every single year I'd go down and see Roy Williams, the Wizard of Ads in Austin, Texas. And he'd say, Brian, you got to write a book. Brian, you got to write a book. After 8 years, I go, Roy, I don't want to write a book. My ego doesn't need it. I'm not one of those entrepreneurs that has to go, look, I got a book. And he goes, Brian, you got it all wrong. This isn't about you. This is about helping others. This is about sharing your lessons you've learned. And I said, you really think I have stuff to share? He goes, are you kidding me? 31 years of what you guys have built and all the mistakes you've made and the learning. Why not help entrepreneurs and inspire other people to not make the same mistakes you made? So the first line in the book actually says, I wrote this book to encourage you. I wrote the book to encourage people to succeed, to fail, to learn, to grow, to pick up on anything they might pick up from my story.